praising God. The word that I want to speak today is going to be an encouragement to you. It's going to hit you right in the face. So I hope you get ready for it. Hope you get ready. Keep your eyes and ears and your heart open, and let the Lord minister to you on this morning. The topic of the day is going to be not too old. I said not too old. Not too old. Hold on, hold on. I see a lot of old folk in here. Y'all, I ain't heard nobody saying nothing. I see a lot of old. Hallelujah, that's my type of word. I guess ain't nobody called y'all old yet. Y'all don't heard it. Y'all heard somebody say you old. Oh, that's just OG, right? Yeah, you old. They call you OG, or you call you uncle, you call it auntie, all that. You ain't that. If you ain't got called Pawpaw, you ain't really there yet. Pawpaw, Mama, that's when you really up there. They call you old OG, you up there. So that's what I want to encourage you on today. I want to encourage you. I say, you're not too old. You're not too old. I got some scripture examples that I'm gonna use, and most of y'all might be familiar with this. I'm not gonna go scripture for scripture on this morning because we should already know these scriptures. The first example that I want to use is Abraham and Sarah. Y'all know the story about Abraham and Sarah, right? And the story took place in Genesis chapter 17. So when you get time, you could just read over the whole chapter 17 of Genesis. The thing that stuck out to me about that was, in the context of not being too old, God promised Abraham and Sarah a son in their old age. They had disbelief. Have you ever received a word from God or heard a word from God, and the first thing you did was like, I ain't believing that? Those are the type of blessings you want. Because if it's too easy to believe, you ain't gonna trust God for it, because you're gonna think you could do it on your own. So that's one sign right there that God want to do something in your life. When you hear something coming from God, where you like, hold up, that gave me. Somebody walk up to you and say, you're gonna be a billionaire one day. Who are you looking at? You ever got a prophetic word from a man or woman of God, and they say, yeah, you, and you looking like this? No, we talk about you. I'm looking eye to eye. Look, I'm talking about you. And you looking for somebody. Oh, like, did I come in here with somebody? No, you come in here with nobody. God talking to you. That's a sign that God got something specific for you. When you look at yourself and say, hold up, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but He's speaking over you anyway. That's the type of God we serve. That's what Abraham and Sarah felt like when God first spoke to them, because Abraham was 100 years old. Sarah was 90 when she gave birth. I don't know if y'all seen it, but it was like last year or year before, some 77-year-old woman gave birth to two twins. 77. Don't drop two of them. God could do it. I don't know what the promise is that God spoke over your life, but it's not for your cousin, your family member to believe in the promise that God spoke over your life. You have to hold on to that promise that God spoke over your life. We have to love God enough to say, if He say it's gonna happen, I trust Him when it's gonna happen. You gotta trust God with the when. You gotta trust Him with the W-I-N, and you gotta trust Him with the W-H-E-N. Yes, I can spell. You gotta trust God with it. So that was one of the first examples that Abraham and Sarah got blessed with Isaac at an old age. The second example I want to use was Moses. Moses was 80 years old when God called him from a burning bush. Think about it. Moses was just doing what Moses do, and all of a sudden he noticed a bush burning. It burning. Picture this: you walking, mind your business, in a trash can burning. Whatever it is, you just like, hold up, what that trash can doing burning? But it ain't smoking or nothing like that. You gonna look at it. Hold up, what that thing over there burning? Am I crazy? You go try to Google, you know how we do now. We Google stuff. You got Google what it mean when a trash can burning. Google ain't got nothing for that. Moses looked at it, burning. That when God spoke to him out the bush. Good God Almighty. God spoke to him out the bush. Has God met you in a place of disbelief and spoke to you out of a place where you like, hold up, is this really God? That's what he did to Moses. He spoke to him out of, think about it, he spoke to him out of a burning bush. He spoke to him. It wasn't the bush talking, it was God. See, Moses had sense enough to know that it ain't the bush that I worship, but it's the God that light the bush that I'm gonna worship. I want to know that God. I want to know that God that could put something on fire, but it don't burn. I want to know that type of God. Moses had sense enough to know that it's God that's doing this. It's going to be some things, and it has been some things that been worked out in your life. It wasn't the people that did it for you because they don't like you. They can't care. They could care less. It was God that made that thing happen. We got to have sense enough to know that it ain't God. It ain't them. It's God that's doing it. I should have been burnt up, but God keeping me in the midst of the heat. He's sustaining me. Moses knew that. Because of that, Moses was able to carry out the commandments of God and what God placed in his life at 80 years old. God calls him to lead the children of Israel out of Egypt. Despite his age and his initial reluctance. Think about it. First time God spoke to Abraham at the time and Sarai, they had disbelief. Initially, you may not receive what God's saying. You ain't gonna do everything right. You gotta stay faithful to him. Moses' first initial response was reluctant. He was reluctant. Have you ever felt like that? God said, I need you to do this. You're like, hold up, I don't know if this is me. You come up with all these excuses. Y'all know what he said. He said, I don't speak right. And you know, you got some people out here say he was slow to talk. Like the Bible said, you got some people say he stuttered. The thing is, it don't matter what it was, he didn't want to speak. Has God ever put a word on your life that you don't want to speak, or put a business or an idea in your mind, but you don't want to step out? At some point, you got to step out of your comfort, because let's be real, it's not a place of comfort on this earth. It's nothing that's going to bring comfort. You could say, if I get enough money, it's going to make me comfortable. Then when you get that money, you're going to realize you're not comfortable, because you're going to say, I need to get more to protect this. Or I thought when I got this, it was going to make me feel a certain way. You realize, no, it don't make you feel no way. If you ain't got peace already that surpass all understanding, it's nothing that you're going to be able to accomplish or receive that's going to put that peace in you, because the peace is within. The peace is within. The joy is within. The things that sustain us in life come from within. They don't come without. That's why you could see people that ain't got a lot of stuff that could do good with nothing, because they got peace within them. That's why you see a lot of people that got a lot of stuff commit suicide, drug overdose, because they don't got that peace within. That peace comes with knowing the Lord. Moses was reluctant at first, but Moses became one of the greatest leaders in biblical history. What are we going to say about your life when it's all said and done? And that's a question that can only be answered by your relationship with God, because we're not going to measure up to our full capacity without him. Because we don't know what we're here to do. We don't know what we're here for. You can listen to people, but people can't tell you where you're supposed to be at. Because God is the author and finisher of our faith. The reason why we say we can't do this and can't do that is because it's societal or it's structured. You heard somebody tell you this, now you believe it. Think about our education system. Think about how we receive information. It's all word of mouth. Even if you get it out of a book or you get it out of an institution, you had to hear it from somebody. They heard it from somebody. Now you believe it and receive it to be true. What about hearing what God say? Even when it come to knowing God, sometimes we hear more about what other people say about God instead of hearing Him for our own self and our personal relationship. Can you hear Him from reading the Word of God? Can you really seek Him for yourself and get to know Him so you can know His voice, so you can know the difference that when a man or woman of God preaching, if that's them or if it is God. If you know His voice, He sound the same in everybody He used. Caleb is another example. In Joshua 14, you can read that chapter. Caleb was 85 years old when he claimed the country of Hebron as an inheritance. 85. He demonstrated unwavering faith and strength. He trusted in God's promise and was rewarded for his faithfulness. So faithfulness don't happen overnight. Faithfulness, you have to keep being faithful. And you don't be faithful and stop. You gotta be faithful till your reward come. And I'm gonna tell you something. It's some things that you gotta be faithful for. You ain't gonna get no reward from man or this life in general. God got to reward you. It's some rewards that only God gonna give you. I want the blessings that God has placed over my life. I want the word that God spoke over my life, because I know with anything God gives, He gonna give me grace to obtain it. He gonna give me grace to sustain it. He gonna give me grace to walk in it. He gonna give me the integrity. He gonna give me everything I need to hold on to whatever He gave me to stand on. I'm not gonna do it on my own. Caleb was 85 years old. I ain't said nothing about nobody 80 years or under. You think God just wants you to live till you 65 and spend your life living on? I'm not saying if that's your situation, that's fine. I understand it. But God ain't give us life just to be living off Social Security, living check to check, or figuring out if we could go to Walmart and work. That ain't the type of God we serve. And what kind of hope do the young people have if they see people 70 and older struggling in life? What kind of hope do they have? All our presidents is old. God's still doing something with them. Did you know that according to 2022, it is billionaires between 50 and 70 years old? You know how many of them are between 50 and 70 years old? Let me tell you, 40%. 40% of billionaires are between 50 and 70 years old, while only 10% are below 50 years old. This means a significant majority of billionaires are considered old by societal standards. What that means? They didn't let nobody tell them they too old to do something. They kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And they didn't reap their reward when they were 30, 40 years old. They didn't start reaping their reward till they were 70, 80 years old. You think about anybody that's owning anything. Most of them, the owners of major league teams and professional sport teams, they up in age. They supposed to be retired somewhere. But they still doing work because they doing what they enjoy. You're not gonna reap when you young and youthful, that's when you work. When you got the energy and the capacity to take on more, you take on more. And as you get older, you're supposed to take off. You can't run like you used to run back in the day. Some old folks still run around in the streets. And by the grace of God, they still here because you can't run around like you used to no more. By the grace of God. Listen, I thank God I can still do a lot of things. I can still hoop. I can still do stuff. But I'm not no fool. I talk to my brother. I'm thinking about how to stay busy. I say, you know what? I think I'm going to play pool when I get older. Cause you ain't got to move too much. I can still be competitive. You know what I'm saying? I can still do something and I can play by myself. But that stick, I can hold that up. I can still do that. But I think about golf, man, I ain't comfortable with the swing. Cause you know what I'm saying? That I'm just not comfortable with it. I'm kind of off balance with it a little bit. So I say, as I get older, I ain't gonna be able to do that much. I already know I ain't gonna be able to hoop. Cause I feel it now. I don't listen. In between, I don't even work out. I rest. Well, man, you know, when you young, you working out, and they wonder why all the young boys getting injured. Are they working out too much? You gotta let your body recover. Wisdom teach you that. Youth just want to go. Wisdom teach you how to set your tail down. You know what I'm saying? And I got wisdom now. I ain't got nothing to prove. Tail down. Let me rest. Let me heal up. Then I get out there and shock the world. But they all know for a whole week I'm getting shocked. My body is shocked. You know, I've been shocked for 3 days, can't even move. But I'm preparing the future that I want. I still want to be active, but I'm just gonna pick up that pool stick. I would do that. I could do that till about 100. If you don't have plans to be here, guess what? You ain't gonna be here. If I live to see 100 or 120, I want to be the best I could be at it. I don't told my wife, I don't told people I know. I say, listen, when I get about 65, I'm getting in the senior Olympics. I don't told them. I'm gonna get. Y'all think I'm playing? Y'all think I'm dead serious? Cause I always wanted to go to Olympia as youth, but things happened where I couldn't do it. So I say, well, guess what? They got that senior. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get all. And get what? I'm gonna get them senior discounts too. I'm gonna get that when my time come. Better believe I'm going to Gold Corral. Yeah, yeah, I'm there. I'm there with my one piece of gray hair, whatever it is. I'm there. You got a senior? Yup, I'm one of. Well, you don't look like it. Hey, look, you see my ID to get that discount. But you gotta have hope as you get older. Make it look good. Make your 50, 60, 70 look good. So when the young folks see you, they say, man, I want to get old. Because as a youth, that's what inspired me. You know, young kids, they want to be grown. We was there. That's why we played house and did all that. That's how I knew Brittany was gonna be bossy, because when we young, she was bossy. You know what I'm saying? You know, be young. She wanna be. I knew when she playing house, she wanna cook and do everything. You know what I'm saying? Tell her, man, you gotta go to work. If that's how you was as a kid, that's how you gonna be when you get older. So I realized that. I say, when I was young, I say, man, I want to get older. I wanna, you know, dress like an older man and do those type of things. And guess what? That builds faith. That builds hope. So when you get there, you know how to act. See, we scared of stuff because we don't know how to act when we get it. Because you ain't got no hope for it. I'm going to tell you something, boo-boo. God like that, don't you? God ain't going to get you something you don't hope for. And only you got to have it in you. God ain't going to give you something you ain't got no hope for. Because you ain't got no hope for it. You ain't got no capacity. Let me give you a secret. Hope and faith builds depth. See, because in order to go high, you got to be able to go low. You feel me? Low keep you grounded. Buildings go up high because they got a foundation that's deep. They don't just be sitting on a surface. Them things go deep. They got basement level too. When the bombs go down, rich folk know. They like, look, man, we don't put something in the earth. We ready for it. We could go underground with it. That's why Elon Musk getting underground cities. You got to be able to know how to do it, how to move. It ain't just about surface level. You in the valley, that's for a reason. Get deep while you in the valley. Learn how to live on your knees so when you get high, things that come shake you up, you know how to stand on your knees and stay up. That's what hope and faith come from. It come from depth. That's where it come from. Because ain't nobody going to believe and hope for your desires. You got to hold on to that. We living in a generation where people need somebody else to boost them up. Who told you you don't need nobody else? Boost yourself up. Boost yourself up. You need people to encourage you. Who you is? I got to encourage myself. Hit my line, man. I need encouragement. You know what, man? I'm going to tell you like this right here. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. Don't call me no over there. Well, you supposed to be, yeah. And you supposed to be what you supposed to be. Don't call me no more talking about you need encouragement. You encourage yourself. Call me and encourage me. Y'all ever felt like that? I'm just telling you what it is. And then another thing we gotta remember, God's timing is perfect. This is key. His timing is like, it's precise. He don't see like we see. When you pop, it's a wrap. You here. When God raised you up, man, ain't no devil in hell could do, ain't nothing nobody could do. When God raised you up, I mean, ain't nothing like somebody stepping in a purpose. Then when you step in your purpose, it don't matter what you will. I don't learn something valuable. When God bless me, guess what? Man, I'm gonna be getting clothes out of Goodwill. I ain't wearing, if it ain't my name, I ain't wearing it. You know why? Because I want to look like I ain't got nothing. That's how you get them demons off of you. Rats like cheese. Roaches and like food and sweets. Ants like sweets. What I'm saying is, you're going to draw the type of people you don't want looking a certain way. You notice a lot of people that ain't got it look like they got it. You ain't got to make it look like nothing. All you got to do is let God speak for you. When you see somebody look like they got, be careful. Look at the surroundings. Where you at? Where you at when you looking like that? Because if you looking like that and you down here where everybody down here ain't got it, be careful. Why? Now, if you like that and that's just the occasion, that's everybody like that, you're in the right place. You know what I'm saying? But God gonna do some things in some of our life, well, we can't present ourselves like we really are in how we dress and how we function. You see what I'm saying? And when you move like that, guess what? God can make you shine regardless. God can make you shine regardless. You can't put on enough to make what's inside show. You can't. I'm not saying don't have fun dressing nice and doing fashion. I'm not saying that's an issue. But what I'm saying is, don't let that be your value. Don't let that be your worth, because it's some things in your life that God put inside of you that you can't articulate in the natural, because it's spiritual. It's a certain level of fine. It's a certain level of handsome that can't be articulated in a natural state. Because if you really popped out like you feel, it's gonna bring a lot of things your way that don't need to be in your space. See what I'm saying? Lights that stay on don't flash. Say it one more time. Say it one more time, right quick. Lights that stay on don't flash. You gotta be careful of the people in your life that do a bunch of flickering. Don't stay lit. They out and they on. They out, they on. They out, they on. Be careful. Cause one thing about it, this brother right here, I stay lit. Trust and believe, I stay lit. Cause I'm with God. That means if I stay lit, whether I'm good or bad, I'm in his light. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna see something in me that I ain't see first. Because when I pop out, I'm not trying to be like something else or somebody else. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Be careful of people that's flickering. So, in this manner of getting older, one thing that we got to remember is obedience. Obedience over age. It don't matter how old you are to be obedient. He said, come as a child. Why? Because children know how to be obedient. That's why people that's confused and perverted prey on children. Because children obedient. They trust. They trust, man. That's why it's so wicked and evil when somebody could abuse a child, because a child trusts. They know they need help. Good kids trust. And even kids that give a hard time, they had to learn that, because if they get around the right one, they'll calm down. I don't dealt with some of them like the hard-headed little kids. Man, shut your butt down. I ain't got time for that thing. Last week we got some good kids. Last week they came in here after service. We had a good old time making a video. Guess what? They ain't give me no problem. Not at all. I don't know what they do at the house, but right here, they was some angels. I said, good God, these good kids right here. I told them one time, I said, don't y'all do nothing y'all ain't supposed to do. They knew what it was. I say, this is what we're going to do for this video. I'm going to do this, we're going to do that. And guess what? They listen. I don't dealt with some grown folk. I ain't going to say no name. I don't dealt with some grown folk. They ain't fall in line as fast as them kids. Right? Obedience over age. Hear what I'm saying? It don't matter how old you is. Be obedient. What God tell you. Did God say it was going to happen? If it ain't happened yet, you keep being obedient. That's what's going to hold you down. That's what's going to hold your hope and your faith together. Obedience. You believe it's going to happen. Keep hoping. Me and my wife been hoping for a child for a long time. God, I know we getting tired and we getting old, but we going to keep being obedient. We're going to keep being obedient. I say the longer the better. And we bless, you know what I'm saying? We say things, how this child going to be and all that. But one thing we do, we bless. We don't say, nah, we're going to have some bad kids. No, we ain't. No, we ain't. I done told Brittany already, they come out like that. We going to put them in a camp or something. You going to be here like that. And another thing I said, I'm going to be the only grown man in the house. When you get to where you grown, get out. I don't care if you got it. You should have been got it together. If you ours, she got a PhD, I got an associate. So and we both go getters. So that's supposed to be genetics. So you supposed to be all ready from the time you out. You supposed to be already planning. You going 2 year, 3 year old, you know what your plan gonna be? Daddy, I just 3. Yeah, that's what I say. You got about you 18. Every birthday I'm gonna ask you got your plan? It's get about that time. I'm 13 years old. Yeah, you a teenager now. Son, daughter, you 18 coming soon. What your plan gonna be? Because if you gonna go get out to school soon, you leave the house, you up out of here. You get your little phone, get your little car. Time running out. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? You gonna pay bills before you get up out of here, because you got to learn how to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be in your name, it ain't gonna be in my name. We don't do it like that. You gonna pay your own bill, be your own credit right now. 15 years old, you got your plan together. I'm thinking about getting a car. You need to figure out how to get a house. That's what you need to figure out, because you can't live in that car, can you? You know what I'm saying? Raise them up to go the way they need to go, so when they come, they won't come knock on your door. You know what I'm saying? Holidays come, you go over their house. They ain't got to come over your house, because you might not want to clean up for everybody. You know, you get old. You can't clean up like you used to. Mom and Dad, can we come over there for Thanksgiving? Nah, man, we going to come over your house. Because we know you young, you keep it clean. We ain't like that. Raise them up. So I want to be obedient in no matter what stage I'm in, so I can receive what God has placed over my life. If God say that we could bear the old age, He did it at 100. I ain't 100. You know what I'm saying? I'm only a little over a quarter to that. I'm gonna keep waiting. I'm just gonna keep waiting. It's a lot of things I'm believing God for. It ain't happening. I could give up, or I could be obedient. The world say this is supposed to happen by this day. Who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you you're supposed to have this by you 25 or when you about 30? Who told you that? It's society. Because God don't tell you that. Your spirit is eternal. You're only as old as you feel. Because there's some people that's 20 years old look like they 50. I ain't lying to you. I'm going to be all the way real with you. It's some babies that look old. So what it is it what somebody tell you? Or is it how you think? Or is it how you ever been around somebody that's old, but they think and they talk young? You ever seen some people had kids and they act younger than their kids? You ever seen that? It's real. Age is a mindset. I've been old. When I was young, they said, boy, you old. I said, yeah, I know. I'm going to grow into it one day. They said, boy, you got an old name. That's right. I'm going to grow into it. Better believe that. I'm going to grow into that Walter one day. And I sure did. I ain't there yet. I ain't hit where I could really walk in my capacity. I ain't hit it yet. I think it's going to be about 77. That's when I'm going to really walking to it. Like, that's when I'm gonna really hit my prime. I ain't hit my prime yet. You gotta have that mentality. Strength in the faith. You gotta have strength in the faith. Caleb's faith was renewed. This is what Caleb said. He said in chapter 14, verse 11, he said, I am still as strong today as I was in the day that Moses sent me. This man was 85 years old. He said, I'm still strong. Because he may have been strong physically, because it is some people out here that's strong physically. But I know for sure he was talking about spiritual strength too, because that's the strength that keep us in tough times. That's what gives us endurance. It's the spirit that moves the body. Like, the spirit is what gives you the discipline to train your body. Like, it's one thing to do push-ups, but the spirit behind it is what makes you do sets of them. You know, you can do 5, but when you do about 5 sets of 5, it's gonna take your spirit to push you and train you to do that. Because after that first set of 5, you ain't never did it, you gonna like, man, I'm good with them push-ups. You ever did that? You ever tried a workout regimen and you got through the first set and you like, yeah, I'm gonna set that right there, and before you do it, you ain't picked it back up yet? Because it take a spirit behind your desire to keep you in faith and obedience. You know what I'm saying? You can't push yourself out of some stuff. Some stuff you just got to have the drive and the spirit to keep going and push your body even when you're weak. He said, I'm just as strong today as I was when God put this on me. Like, that's just immaculate to me, man, when I think about it. This man, 85 years old, said, I still got it. Don't get it twisted. Oh, y'all don't think that stuff for real? Y'all can watch that fight on Friday, right? Y'all ain't heard about it? Somebody talking to me. Dang. Y'all act like y'all ain't gonna watch. All y'all in here being religious right now. Act like y'all ain't gonna watch that fight. You ain't never seen no 50 Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Friday on Netflix. 58 versus 27. We never seen nothing like that in history. The fact that this man 58 trying to box. George Foreman about 45 when he came out, and he still had it. And the man was just selling grills, right? George Foreman he wasn't no joke. He was selling grills. He put the grills down and said, I gotta go get some more money. Man, Mike Tyson ain't getting in this ring because he think he gonna lose. 58 years old. He like, man, I still got it. He getting bored. He don't got bored. The man for peace, what he do, go out there and sit with pigeons. We saw that. We watched documentary. He go out there and sit with pigeons when he get bored. You don't retire, man. You got to keep living. You got to keep finding that dream and that desire to keep going. You gotta keep it. You ain't gonna get that itch just by sitting around. You gotta keep living. That man 58 years old to say, man, you know what, man, I still feel young. I feel like I could box. And he started training for it. That's what make him dangerous, because you might see him stand still, he shake. But when he start moving, you like, hold up, boy, okay, how old he is? I ain't messing with him. I'm gonna tell you right now, I won't mess with him or Jake Paul. Straight like that, because I ain't trained for it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go to church today, but if I get in the ring and get mollywopped, y'all ain't coming to church. Some of y'all gonna be up there praying, Lord, get Pastor, get him out that ring, Lord, help him. Oh, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna already tell you, I got all the faith in the world, but I ain't no fool. If I get in the ring with one of them, it's a done deal for me. I already know what it is. Look, I might get a lick, but if I take one, I'm gonna go ahead and tap out. Hey, look, I'm gonna tap out before I hit the ground. I'm gonna be in the air like tapping out. I'm gonna be tapping. I ain't doing it. But he's 58, still willing to fight. Are you still willing to fight? And no matter what age you are you willing to get in the ring with these young folk and say, I still got it? I don't care what little dances y'all doing. Let me go back to my day and show y'all what I've been doing, because I still got it. Show them what it is to get old. Do the butterfly or something to show them what it is to get old. Dude, look good with your old self. They call you old. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You get here. Because guess what? They not getting here. Young folk ain't getting to where we at. You make it at 25, 26, they act like they don't made it because they not getting up. Not getting 25, 26, these babies early. And then the old folk, they ain't getting it, man. A lot of old folk got dementia. Alzheimer's. It's the quality of life. And it's the hope and the faith that keep us in a great quality. God is going to always give us great quality of life. Faith is the foundation of hope. Faith is the foundation of hope. If you want to know what is the difference between hope and faith, I'm going to break it down to you like this. Faith is the vehicle. Hope is the fuel that fuels you. So you sit and ride in your faith, but if you ain't got no hope, your faith ain't going to go nowhere. It's just going to stand right there. Because when you moving, that's action. That's called work. That's why he say your faith is dead without works. So in the process of waiting on God, you got to be moving and doing something in the meantime, because that's going to fuel your hope. And your hope is going to strengthen your faith. And that's the process of waiting. Faith and hope. Faith and hope. Because what faith and hope do, it build trust. It build confidence. And that's what you're doing the whole time. You training for that fight. Because I don't care what level you go to, you're going to have to fight. When God gave Caleb the land, he said that he was my strength now is as my strength was then. And this why he say his strength was great. Then he say for war and for going and coming. So in the meantime, before God gave him the land, God strengthened him for the war and for the going and coming. So when you get to that next stage in life, you're not getting there to sit down on no throne and reign over nobody. You getting there and God has strengthened you to war and go and come. That's what your strength is going to be for. So when God take you to that promised land, it's going to be some battles that you're going to have to go through. But God has strengthened you in the valley so you could overtake the enemy when you get there. The land that flowing with milk and honey, they had enemies all over the land. They had to destroy it. So everywhere God take you, it's going to be some haters. It's going to be some people that don't want you to be there. But God has given you strength to stand even though they say you don't belong. That's because you was in the valley pumping iron, praying, fasting, getting strong. So when you get there, you don't need them to build you up because you already built up. It's going to make you overflow. It's going to make you average. You don't need no more confidence. When they come and try to build you up, hey, man, you just, hold on, chill. You too close to me. Step back. Give me some room. I just got here. I just pulled up. Let me get here first. That's why you where you at, because God preparing you for your next one. He preparing you. Don't forsake the present. It's a gift. Take this moment, wherever you at, take this moment to get better. Because you ain't going to always have the time you got. So we know that faith is assurance of things hoped for. We know that it's confidence. It's in promises, even when they are not visible. Faith is confidence that what you hope for will happen. And hope is the muscle that moves your faith. So my faith is my arm, but my hope is the muscles that cause my arm to do like that. So if somebody try me and I got to protect myself, I'm going to have faith that I'm going to bust them in the head, but that hope going to make me connect. Bow! Yeah, I stand on that word. God always preaching. As crazy as folk is in the day, you have to be mindful of your surroundings. You have to be prepared so when the enemy comes, you know how to move. Some of y'all gonna be froze. I don't already told you I ain't the one to freeze. You know what I'm saying? I'm either gonna dip or I'm gonna go through it. But one thing about it, I ain't freezing. Hope keeps our faith alive and active. It is confident expectation of what God has promised. So this is the explanation right here. Faith and hope reinforce each other. Faith gives reality to our hopes, making them more than just wishful thinking. At the same time, hope sustains our faith, especially during challenging times. So in 1 Thessalonians 1:3, it mentions your work produced by faith, your labor is prompted by love, and your endurance inspired by hope. So let me go back to that one time because it's good. Your work is produced by faith. You have faith, so you work on it. All right? Your labor is prompted by love. I have faith to work, but because I love what I do, I'm going to labor in it. The labor in your gifting allows you to labor when you don't get paid for it. And you realize it ain't no money you can put on what I do because I labor in love. You can't pay somebody enough when they doing something for love. Like if somebody love you, you can never give them enough money to show the value of that because they labor in love. And you can't outwork somebody that loves something. Because it's another level of love. It's called obsession. That's why Jordan is the go to basketball, because he obsessed over basketball to a capacity. Ain't nobody want that. That man, they say he competitive about everything. He probably like, if you snored, he probably gonna snore the loudest because he competitive. He competitive everything. Kobe was like that. They competitive, and people that's like that, that's driven, they got to keep competing all the way through life because they don't feel the same way. That's why Tyson's still fighting. He's still competitive. Okay, yeah. So labor is prompted by love, and your endurance is inspired by hope. So if you want to have endurance, you gotta have hope. So that's why you gotta hold on to your hope. When things get real hard, the last thing you will notice is hope. Because it's some things that we going through right now where we down to just hope. It ain't even about faith no more. It's about hope, because only thing that's keeping me going is that fuel that's keeping that light burning. I'm down to the fuel. That's when you know you don't eat. And when you get down that low, guess who's gonna fill you up? Good God Almighty. Make room for him. Get empty. So, hope in our Lord Jesus Christ, showing how these virtues work together to strengthen believers. So you know you're a believer when you have hope and faith. Before I pray, I'm just going to read a scripture about hope and faith. Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. So that's how you renew your strength, by hoping in the Lord. They will soar on wings like eagles. So soar on wings. They don't say you're going to have wings, so don't get out here trying to fly nowhere. They say you're going to soar on wings. So who wings are you soaring on? Exactly. So they will soar on wings like eagles. So that means there's going to be some things that's going to get so heavy in your life that God going to have to carry you through it. That's what you're hoping in him, that God I don't know how, but I hope, God, you're going to carry me through this. They will run and not grow weary. The fact that you making it each and every day of your life, that means you running. Whatever the offers that I'm going to run on and see what the end going to be, that means they're not going to stop living. Just because you wake up, that don't mean you living. But do you have the hope and the desire to still believe for greater, even though life don't look like it should look or it want to look? You know what I'm saying? That's when you running. When you going on. I'm going to give you another key. When you see something in faith, that's God showing you the end. That's God showing you the outcome. When you see it and you get the vision, God showing you that is here. It's gonna happen. But that hope, that obedience, and that hope and that faith in you in Him is gonna keep you doing the journey till you get there. But the fact that you see it, that's showing you that it's possible, that it's gonna happen. So I hope that in this, that our faith was renewed and that it was strengthened, and that no matter how old we feel, that we could always believe that God is going to get the fulfillment and the purpose out of our life. I don't care how old you are, don't stop believing. Don't stop believing that God could use you. Don't stop believing that you cannot be a light in this world. Yes, you can. And you still have dreams. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop visualizing yourself being somewhere that you're not today. Because without vision, y'all know the word?